Oh, okay. Here we go, everybody. I'm usually not so dapper on these calls, but I'm coming straight from church after doing 2 services, baby dedication, and just a whole lot of great stuff. I ran into a good friend of mine who taught me everything I know about the mortgage business. And, when everything went foul, I hadn't seen him in a while. We were trying to connect and thought things were going crazy for him. Just transitioned. It was just good to see him in good health and good spirits. And he's got a whole brand new life right now. So I'm looking forward to connecting with him, and I'm just so excited about it because sometimes for you non-religious people, sorry, I'm giving you an apology up front, but God does answer prayers, because there was a point where I didn't know what the heck he was going through, and nobody could tell me what was going through, and I was just praying and hoping, and lo and behold, I don't even stick around for 11 o'clock service. And just who comes out of the blue and catch me is him. So
that's awesome. That's
great.
It's
just a beautiful thing. Anyway,
we just want to welcome you to another edition of What's Working Now Mastermind with Willie and Daria and Rose. See her there at the bottom.
How you doing, Rose?
And today we're going to hey. And we're going to discuss some of the common mistakes that online marketers make coming online.
There's quite a few of them, just for the record, but we're going to bullet point 5 of them, and we're going to be really precise and really quick on this because I don't want to belabor the point.
Right.
But I do believe that if you master these 5, in other words, recognize what they are, recognize when you're in it, and take yourself out of it, I think it'll alleviate a lot of the unnecessary pain that's associated with this industry. And right to the point, the first one being not being open to new marketing strategies. Now, the reason for that is when we get into the market, or I should say, when you join a particular company, every company that's out there has something of value, has a product or service that would make a difference in the lives of people, without a doubt. Otherwise, they wouldn't actually produce it. So by virtue of the fact that you see a benefit, you benefit from it, and you love it, doesn't necessarily translate to other people. So what happens is you join the company, your upline gives you a crash course in training, you attend one webinar or go to an event from the company, and you're off. And the first people whom you introduce to what you're doing are your friends and family. We call that the warm market.
Right.
Now, those folks are more apt to listen to what you have to offer, even if they're not interested, because what? We know that they know you. We know that they like you. And the bottom line is they trust you to a certain extent.
Right.
However, after you run through that course, you now have to market your business or your product or service to the broader audience. Right. And that is the millions of people online looking for something that you offer. They just don't know who you are.
Right.
Now, that approach that you took with your natural market changes when you go into what they call the cold market. So chances are the way that you approach your natural market has been such a habitual thing that you think you can actually do that with a cold market, and that's so far from the truth. Because the one thing that has changed is that those people now do not know, they don't like you, and they don't trust you. And it doesn't matter if what you're offering can be a lifesaver, whether it literally saves your life or just saves your lifestyle. Because they don't know, like, and trust you, there is no inclination for them to even listen to what you have to offer. Right. So being open to other marketing strategies is an asset, not a liability. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of us get confused because we don't know which ones to adapt ourselves to. We don't know which ones to look at. So what you really have to do is, number one, you got to brand you. And what I mean by that is, it's not about great, really great company or great, really great service, because people will buy from you because of you, not because of your company.
Right.
All right. So it's really, really important that you look at how you're going to provide value. What do we mean by provide value? Yes. Your product or service does something that's very, very unique. So you are a unique individual. You have to look at how you can marry those two components generically. Okay, without using the product, company, name, or perhaps product name, but use a benefit that the product offers you. Like, say, for example, if you're in the diet industry, right? Weight loss industry, rather than say, I've lost 10 pounds in 30 days, why not say, wow, since I've been using this product, the last function I went through, when I got up and I was walking to the bathroom, about 8 different women looked at me
and complimented
me
on my dress,
and noticed my attire, noticed that I've made this change in my body. They can't quite figure out what it is, so they're just asking,
what are you doing?
Ultimately, that's what you're looking for, because guess what? Once you have an interest, then you can fill that need. But if you don't have an interest, there's nothing you can fill.
Right. Yeah.
Number 2, when you join a company, this is where the branding of you come in. A lot of us join the company before we actually find out what need we can service. So if you can, reverse that. Find the need, then find the company. But if you're already in the company, then what you need to do is target. Look for a market that's looking for the services that you are, service or product that you are providing. That's important, because that way, again, all of your marketing efforts will be going in the right direction, as opposed to you feeling the need that you don't know who's going to buy. So as long as you have a warm-blooded person in front of you, or you know where one will respond to something, they're putting your stuff out there. And then what happens is the value that you're putting out there becomes like white noise. People don't see the value because, in other words, they don't see the value you're providing because you're actually promoting something that they have no interest in. These people are actually looking for bicycles, and yet you're talking about vitamins. There is a correlation, or there can be a correlation, but if their need is to get onto wheels and you're providing a supplement that's going to give them more energy, you got to educate them and help them understand the correlation between the supplement and the bike riding.
It's definitely about teaching about your product, educating your prospect, about your product.
Absolutely. Third thing, you want to build relationships with the people that you're actually presenting to. Whether it be marketing, whether it be your presentation, whatever it is, you want to build relationships. The value of building a relationship is going to help you sustain the customer, and he or she will latch on to you, so that whenever you introduce something new, immediately they will buy into it. I mean, no better example that I can think of when it comes to this. And there are others who are doing this, but she just has this thing, and that's Diane Hockman.
Yeah.
The way that the way her followers follow her is almost magical. And the thing is, she was a school teacher. So whenever she does her presentations, her webinars, it's almost like like you're in kindergarten. She sits you down, and you're on the ground, and you're all poised, wide open to be filled with what she has to offer. She just has that demeanor. She doesn't take herself serious. She considers herself a dingbat. I mean, if you've ever sat through one of her webinars, it's just phenomenal. But yet, she does all these untraditional things, but yet at the core is the relationship. Her calls are filled with, hey, how you doing? Long time no see. As opposed to, hi, Jerry, how Joe, and hi, Jill. You know, so it's just a phenomenal thing, and it's very critical in our business, because at the end of the day, no matter how much we're overwhelmed and swarmed by technology, this is still a people business. You know, you sell computers to people and they use it. It's not, you don't sell them to other computers and they use it. You follow what I'm saying? So that's critical.
Well, before you go on, I just wanted to add, with Diane, she makes it really simple to build her list, like Willie was talking about, building the relationships. So a lot of her leads are manually put on her list. It's not a matter of her, she's not looking to get leads in the system, which she does, but a lot of her leads, I notice, are leads that she actually puts in herself. So after she's had a conversation with you and finds out what your needs and your wants and just a little bit about you, the next thing she does is she offers her newsletter. So what she does is she collects the email and puts you on her newsletter. So then when she does email you, you already are familiar with her, and then you, like Willie said, you're open to what it is she has to say, because there's a connection there, you know? So, and then what I noticed with that, you have better open rates when you manually put leads in, along with your lead generation through the net. But when you put those leads in, I can see why she has such great open rates.
And again, that's all building your list. I'm sure you've heard the money is in the list. But again, your list is your list is, there's twofold. You look at a list in terms of people that you have access to, that you're emailing, but yet that's your customer base.
Yeah,
these are your people. Like, for example, most of your retail stores, their employees are kind of like their list. Yes, they have loyal customers that come in all the time through the credit cards and all that kind of stuff. But guess what? The first people who actually spend money with Macy's are the employees. Why? Because of those discounts that they get, employee discounts. So every time they get paid, on average, most of them spend a third of their paycheck just buying something out of there that they've been looking at, they've been putting aside, that they want to carry home. And it's just a repetitive cycle. So until they get fired or quit, that's what they do. I know, I've been there. You know what I mean? You take advantage of the employee discount. Moving right along, mistake number 4 is the jumping from company to company. And while that might, if you're a thrill seeker, that might be great. It might be a great adventure. But nowadays, with the social media and online marketing, you don't know who's looking at you, looking to follow you to a certain extent, looking at you to motivate them to make their move. And if you're going from company to company, guess what? When they ask you that $1 million question, like, well, how long you been doing this? You got to be honest. And you can kind of color it and say, well, I've been in the industry for 30 years. That wasn't the question. They want to know how long you've been doing X, Y, Z. So whatever it is that you're promoting at that particular time, they want to know how long you're doing that, because people buy into it. So whether you consider it right or wrong, that's just what people do. But like one person said, people are followers and they want to be led. But you have to be able to lead them to the right source, to the right. And most of the great marketers out there, they have found their company and they've built their empires from there. Now, they have other things going on. Trust me, they do. Some of them write books. Some of them make money off webinars. Some of them make money off of blogs. But they all have one particular company or affiliate that they swear by. Okay, that's where they get the bulk of their income from. That's where it all started. All of that stuff, and they're the driving force behind that entity. So you definitely want to avoid the company hopping. And so many of us, we want to be successful. Because it looks good. But guess what? That does not happen overnight. You know, Apple is they project Apple to be an $800 billion company in 2016. Okay, $800 billion, and I'm not talking. That's in their reserves, profit. Okay, after all the expenses is done and paid, $800 billion, and I'm willing to bet that they employ worldwide less than 5,000 people. Now, did that happen last year? Did that happen when the iPhone came out? No. They're now on their they're about to launch their 7th iPhone series.
Right?
So that's 7, and there's 2 for each. You know, you got the we're at the 6 now, so it's a 6 and 6. So there's 2 units, and the image of what that brand is still the same. But before the iPhone and the iPads, they were doing computers. So that success that they're embracing and they're living out didn't happen last year. No. Didn't happen the year before. Didn't happen the year before that. It took them a number of years to be where they are right now. So believing that you can have the success overnight, and that's poppycock. Don't play yourself into those small quick turns, because anybody can make a fast buck. You're not in this for a fast buck. You're in this for the long haul.
Right, you're building. And one more thing before you add on. When you company hop, it's not the company. The company is not the reason why you're not successful. It's you. Because whatever you did in the last company, you're going to do in the next company.
Absolutely.
Because that's what you know. So what you have to do is examine why you're not successful. Instead of looking for another company, you need to look inside. You need to look within and look at what it is that you're doing that's not working and tweak that instead of looking for another company. And it took a minute, you know, for me to realize that that's what it is. The issue is not the company. It's not the products. The products are what they are. But it's me. It's the person that's promoting. Who am I promoting to? What am I saying? What kind of, you know, am I giving value? You know, those are things you ask yourself, you know, when you're promoting your products.
Yeah, running your own business, one of the things that you cannot entertain at all is fear. And a lot of the mistakes that we make are fear-based. They're not based in reality. They're fear-based. Some of us think that Facebook is saturated. Others think that you can't do video because video is too difficult. We have all these perceptions, and the thing is, we need to be honest with ourselves and begin to learn how to test and try things before we count them out.
Yeah.
Be willing to do that, because that's the sign of the mark of an entrepreneur. Somebody who decided that they're going to serve a purpose, and no matter what, they're going to find a way to get that message out there so that people can benefit from what they have to offer. Now, the last one is being afraid. Okay. The other area that we're afraid to do things at is investing in our own business and in our own personal development. How is it that we got a visitor?
Yeah. Hey, I don't know your name, but hey.
See, so somebody missed you. They're getting a chance to see you for more than 2 minutes, huh?
He lets me know when somebody comes to the door.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So yes. Yes, the fear of investing. It's ironic that we've been conditioned to take monies and invest in a college education, which over a 4-year period, depending on what your study is, can leave you with a whopping 30 or 40 or 50 or even higher $1,000 bill, and you haven't even gotten your first paycheck or first interview yet. And the way things are going right now, there are more college graduates doing menial jobs than ever in our workforce area. Okay, and the sad thing is, they think that's okay. Yeah, they're dealing with the frustration of not finding employment, but somehow they think the reason why they don't have a job is them. When the truth of the matter is, it's not them. That's just straight up. That's the scam of the American dream right now. Yeah. That's the scam of the American dream. Going to college and getting an education that will give you the type of job that will pay you enough so that you can pay that college debt off and then buy a home and raise a family and have a car and take a vacation is gone. It's gone. There are corporations right now seeking to eliminate pension plans, 401ks, and all of that kind of stuff, and still not pay you enough to have a little money to save for these things privately.
Yeah.
So while you have your business, take the time out and invest in yourself. Go to company events. Invest in self-development books, because you know what? I'm willing to bet my last dollar that if you take $50,000, $30,000, $40,000 and invest it over a period of time in your own personal development in your business, you'll turn around and make 10 times as much, as opposed to putting it in a 4-year college degree, come without a piece of paper, and they're sending you down to Targets for a job, because that's all you can get in your town. I mean, think about it. This is a reality.
Yeah.
This is a reality. I'm not making this up, and you don't need to go and Google it. It is a reality. That is what is going on.
Yeah, it's horrible.
And the people who are really, really getting paid are the people who specialize in what they do. You see it in sports. You see it in medicine. You see it in all types of different fields. The people who specialize in something make the biggest bucks. So why not start? You're starting out the gate with a superior product that's over and above what people can go and get online, can go and get in their local grocery stores. So why not specialize in learning how best to market that, how best to connect that product with improving people's lifestyles?
Yeah.
I mean, that's ultimately what it's all about.
Yeah, in any business, you have to have investment. So, traditional business, you have your startup cost. So this is no different. It's just that the expenses is not as exorbitant. And in any business, you need tools.
Absolutely.
So not only do you invest in your professional development, you have to invest in your tools. We met someone not too long ago, and they're just like, whatever we can get free, that's what I'm getting. Free is free. Don't
know. I mean, there are people who make money doing free things. The challenge with doing things that are free is the fact that you don't control your content once you connect it on that free thing. For example, Facebook, you don't control your content, okay? YouTube, there are top marketers who got their whole channel shut down.
Yeah.
Okay, because you don't control your content once you release your content, your video on the YouTube. If somebody arbitrarily decides that, they don't like Rose because of her full hair and stuff like that, they mark your stuff as something to complain, call a couple of friends and say, look, target this person because I can't stand her. Do me that solid. Next thing you know, YouTube is closing out without even asking you, a question, without really thoroughly reviewing the content that you put out. But because it's getting red flagged by a few people, automatically they want to shut it down. So that's what makes one of the important tools that you need to have is having your own blog.
Right, because you control it.
You control the content, you control everything that's on it, what goes on and what goes off. And I mean, that's your real estate.
Right.
That is your internet real estate. So you definitely want to do that. And the thing is, 99.99% of the MLMs out there, the businesses are out there, they don't teach their people to do these things.
Right.
They don't teach their people to do these things because again, they have a traditional track by which they know that their stuff works. But
So
you can't be a one-trick pony. You just can't.
So it's up to
the company can afford to do that, but you as an individual trying to make a living presenting and sharing this, what you can't afford. You don't have that luxury.
So it's up to you to get out there and find out what it is that you need. Totally up to you.
Yeah, and again, if you're in betwixt or you're not sure, what do they say in college? Whenever you actually put something together in the form of a documentary or a thesis, they want to have like 3 sources. So look at what you're doing. Bounce it against other people. Find a mentor. If you can't afford to pay for one, then follow one who puts their stuff daily. They put out daily content on YouTube or on a podcast or whatever. Whatever medium that works best for you. Follow them. Follow their leads. Practice what they show you. And again, go into groups. Ask questions.
Right.
Don't be afraid to do these things. Often people, we get so caught up about, well, what's it going to look like if I'm asking questions? Doesn't make me look intelligent. Well, guess what? You're not going to look intelligent if you've been doing this thing for the same time and nothing is happening. So what I always say, pick your pain. Either you're going to pick the pain of learning and looking like you're not smart, and then once you finally get it, you run off, or you're going to look good and in the end look like a fool because you never asked any questions, because you never tried this, because you weren't willing to do that. And next thing you know, all this time has gone by and it's like nothing has happened for you.
Mm-hmm. And that is like the biggest expense, trying to go for things free, even though you're not paying in dollars, but you're paying in time.
Yeah.
Because it takes so much time to find out what it is that you need, because you're trying to go the free route. Well, if you invest in it, you get a whole lot of information, a lot of inside information that's not released because you have to pay for it.
Exactly. So, any questions?
Yeah, or any commentary from Rose.
Yeah.
That concludes our
One of my biggest problems was probably the idea that I needed to learn everything before I can get out there and start teaching other people. You guys have been great in teaching me that you teach as you go and you learn, and what is the formula? Invest, learn, and learn and teach, and I find that does work, and it is working a lot better for me than we can learn and then talk to people about it.
Right.
Something, Rose, it is so ironic that you say that. Now, we become professionals, and somewhere along the road of becoming a professional, we learn that nonsense. But prior to learning or becoming a professional, this is what we did. This is how we learn how to walk. This is how we learn how to talk. This is how we learn how to play games. I mean, you went out there and you didn't know how to play basketball. You didn't know how to play hopscotch. Somebody actually taught you, and right there you said, okay, I'm going to try it.
Yes.
And then because you continue playing it, you got better. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? Somebody else came in right behind you because they wanted to learn how to play the game, and they went through the same process. Mm-hmm. And by nature, this is how we learn. If you look at any nature channels or Animal Kingdom, when they do all these documentaries on the animals with the lions and all that kind of stuff, this is how the cubs learn. They go out there and they make the mistakes.
Absolutely.
They make the mistakes, and out of them making the mistakes, because the bottom line is, to learn, you have to be driven. And without the drive, you get nothing.
Yeah.
You get nothing.
That's why professional development is so important, because we have to get rid of all that junk that we accumulated throughout the years, because we are taught that we have to do it perfect. You know, because we have those quality reviews and those yearly, I don't know what you call them, but whatever.
You got people judging us. That's what it is.
You know, the observations, and you know, you got to be perfect in what it is that they're looking for, because you're trying to get, you know, the highest score or an outstanding, or you know, whatever it is that you need to keep your job. But with this, you don't have to be perfect. Just be you. Just get out there and do it, and you're going to learn along the way. Because if you don't do it, you'll never learn it.
Yeah.
And the quintessential thing that this medium of ours provide us is, even as you're learning, being authentic and genuine, it never gets compromised with the person who's listening to what you have to say.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I just read her blog. There was a whole bunch of there was a whole bunch of errors and grammatical errors, but you know what? I really did get what she was trying to say to me.
Right. Right. And no one's gonna
you follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, nobody's
I really did
oh.
get that. You know, you're gonna have a highfalutin person say, well, if you can't write, then you can't interest me. That's okay. They'll find their information somewhere else. But for the majority of folks, they're gonna really appreciate the fact that you took the time to provide the content and value to make a difference for them right where they are. You know, I needed to hear that. I needed to see that. Those are the responses that you're going to get. Nobody can give a hoot. I mean, granted, it's important to structure things so that people can clearly understand what it is you're saying, you know. But at the bottom line is, you can never substitute your value over trying to be perfect.
I wrote something about that in the Deep Abyss. Diane did a call last Thursday.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
And you know, we were talking about stuff like that, and one of my takeaways was that, you know, I said that I came from a very critical family. You know, my mom was critical, my grandmother's critical, and it was just, you know, you was always afraid to make a mistake because there was always somebody that was going to say something, and you don't want anybody to say anything to you. So you try to dot every I and cross every T. And then I took that with me in the work world. I took that with me in all my relationships. And then I just found myself like, oh my God, I know somebody's going to say something. But in this space, you know, even though there's times when I'm expecting it, you don't get that. You know, you get a pat on the back, you get a high five, you know, keep going, you know, that's great. You know, you're doing a great job. Just tweak this here, tweak that there. Not, oh my God, you forgot the T there. Or how could you write that sentence and it will run on? You know, you're not going to get that kind of stuff. You know, people are going to help you in your marketing. They're going to help you in your branding, and they're going to tell you, you know, they're going to share it with you in a way that you can receive it, not to tear you down.
Yeah, receive it and be able to take action.
And
so
let's
listen. Rose, what else came present for you out of this chat that we're doing right now?
Like you said, very much so, because I found great satisfaction when I couldn't get it, then went back and figured it out. So you're so right with that, because I was tempted to call you guys all the time and say, oh, I can't figure it. But I found, like I said, put it down and go back to it gave me more satisfaction, and now I can figure it out, or I have more confidence that I can figure things out.
Yeah.
So, like I said, making those mistakes, and then eventually, you know, you put it down and go back to it, and it falls right into place. Or just look at the videos again, or listen to the webinar again. It all so much more helpful.
That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's when you first start, it's new. It's a new world. So,
and that's all it is.
Yeah.
It's new, and you're learning curve. Once you meet that challenge, you're gonna be okay. Anything else you want to share?
No, I'm just looking forward to moving forward.
Okay. All right. Well, once again, welcome back.
Yes. Have a great and safe holiday.
Yes, indeed. And to you and your husband.
Yes, and your family.
And the dog.
Yeah, what's your dog's name?
Bo.
Bo, okay.
All right. Tell Bo I said what's up.
All right.
I'm just sat down now.
Oh God.
Yes, and so until we meet again next week, same time, same channel.
Okay.
Anything you would like to discuss for next week?
Well, I'm going to get back into it. So I'm going to look at the funnelizer and the CRM I think we're working on now. And I'll probably have questions for that. So,
Okay, so we can touch on that,
all
definitely.
right, awesome.
We can
Awesome
touch on that.
sauce.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right, take
All
care.
right, everybody out there, we'll see you next week.
Yes,
All
same
right.
bat channel.
All right. Take care, Rose.
Bye-bye now.